and welcome back to my channel. We are again in the kitchen. It's not a cook with me today, it's a bake with me. We are going to be doing my version of a lemon pound cake, lemon drizzle cake, but I put a few added extras in there and I actually do mine with a buttercream frosting. So sit back, get your pen and paper. I will be leaving all the ingredients below, so don't worry. If you want to recreate this at home, make sure to tag me in your photos. My lifestyle and food Instagram channels will be down below. Tag me from the food Instagram and I'd love to see how you done. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So to cook, hair up, no makeup, comfy clothes. It's a Saturday afternoon. The weather's quite dismal out there. It was really nice this morning, but now not so good. So first things first, preheat the oven to 180 degrees. Let's have a look. And then make sure you can do it on a normal tray if you want. I have a loaf tin. I put a loaf liner inside because I cannot get grease paper for love nor money. So loaf liner tin, these were from Home Bargains, 25 for a quid. And then I just use a roasting foil tray to pop it in instead of a baking tray. So just pop that to one side and then we need to get on to the mixture. So my lemon cake is probably standard, quite different. I add lemon curd in it. I add quite a lot of lemon, so lemon juice, lemon zest. I just love it being nice and zesty. And then as for the buttercream frosting, I add a little bit of lemon juice and lemon zest in there just to give it more lemonness really. It's a lemon cake, so you want it to taste like lemon. So let's get the ingredients. So as you see here, I've got the lemons. I'm going to juice and zest them later. Lemon curd, lemon juice, we've got the butter weighed out there, sugar, plain flour with baking powder, eggs and our bowls. You can do this with self-raising flour. Plenty of recipes online to do self-raising, but I haven't got self-raising in the house at the moment. I only have plain, so I've got to use a bit of baking powder. So all you'll really need equipment wise for this will be an electric whisk, a bowl, sieve, little spatula, and then a chopping board and a knife just to do your lemons and grate them. So if we start with grating the lemons and zesting them. So how has everyone been in lockdown? As I say, it's coming into, I think, is it the 8th week now? And I'm glad I'm back at work, I really am, because I don't actually know how long I would have lasted being off of work. So I had my 3-week furlough and that was enough for me. That was like more than plenty. But I did fall back in love with baking. I baked countless amounts of carrot cake and banana bread. I think everyone under the sun became a baker again. And just took time for myself. Started getting into yoga, started doing home workouts because obviously you can't go to the gym, everything's closed at the moment. But I do need to start getting out of loungewear. Like even this week for work, I have resorted to going in gym wear just because I want to be comfy, and then when I get in from work I can go straight out on my run or my walk and I ain't really got to bother about changing away. But this recipe, as I say, I'll leave everything down below quantities wise. So it's 175 grams of butter, 200 grams of flour, 275 grams of sugar, and then you have 2 lemons to grate and zest, and a teaspoon of lemon juice, and then because it's plain flour you need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then as I say, I always put in probably, I'm not sure, I normally just wing it to be honest, maybe a tablespoon or 2 of lemon curd, and then 3 eggs. So it's quite simple, you don't need a lot. Once it's all weighed out, you literally just pop it all in the bowl and whisk it up. I do mine slightly differently. A lot of recipes will say to, put that there, a lot of recipes will say to actually put it all together in a bowl and then whisk it all at once, but I find cream the sugar and the butter and then add all your dry ingredients and fold them in slightly. So I just find it always works a bit nicer, it comes out more fluffier in a way. So let's have a look. Need to whisk the eggs up. been living off of eggs at the moment. We got 30 from our local farm shop. So we have rice, I'm putting egg in it, making my own egg fried rice. I'm having omelette, scrambled egg nearly every weekend, and then the rest will go for baking. So that is all mixed up. So as I say, let's get the sieve. So we're gonna put the butter straight in, and this is just normal soft spread. I think you get about 500 grams for £1 if that at Tesco. I still put a couple of splashes of lemon juice in just for when it's creaming the butter and sugar. Get the lemonness in there right from the beginning, and then literally now, make sure it's off. We just don't hit the kitchen. And we just whisk it up just until it goes nice and light and fluffy, so that you can see the sugar crystals have dissolved into the butter and it almost goes quite light in colour wise. When you do this, just a little tip, get the whisk right on the edges of your bowl to get all the crystals of the sugar, because sometimes you find if you leave the sugar crystals on the outside, you get that itty bitty texture. So just literally just go around the sides with your whisk. It's going to make a weird noise, but don't worry, it's not breaking it. So as you can see, it just goes a really light yellow texture. You can see there's no sugar crystals around the side. And then what I do, so this is 3 eggs, I'll add 1.5 roughly, mix it again, add another 1.5, and then I'll add all the dry ingredients, and then I'll start to fold in the mixture. So we'll pop the first bit of egg in, and we'll whisk this up. Right, so once the eggs are whisked in, it's going to go almost frothy in a way. I don't know if you can. So it's almost frothy because the eggs are lavering up in there. So this is now where, and you only add this bit by bit again. So probably say half flour, make sure you sieve it in. Excuse the old-fashioned measuring bowls, cup. I've had these for donkey's years. Same thing I find without using every single bowl in the house. And then it's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I always sift half flour in with one, and it has to be not a heaped one, a generous one, let's say pretty much level, but not a heaped one, because the baking powder, I done it I think probably right at the start of lockdown. Completely forgot, I thought, oh, I'll wing it. But too heaped, oh my god, it overflowed onto the tray, it overflowed into the dish, everywhere. So yeah, don't get too carried away with that. And then we're just going to sift that in. So that's the first lot. And then just get your spatula and just fold it in to your egg, sugar and butter mixture. And so you have to do this bit by bit because it helps keep air in the cake mix. Because if you add it all at once, or as I say, some of the recipes I see, and they probably do work, don't get me wrong, but I always remember back from when I was in college, they said do all your wet ingredients first and then do your dry ingredients bit by bit, and it just helps keep the airiness and the fluffiness in the cake mixture. So just keep beating that in. And I say you can do figure of 8. I normally do like a zigzag across with my spatula to get everything in. You'll see it slightly glooping up. You can smell the lemons slightly, so we're going to change that. We're going to add some more lemon juice and a bit of the zest in. And as I say, people are going to think, why are you adding lemon curd? But that's just something I've always done, and just gives it a little bit extra sweetness, let's say. So we'll put, everything is so sticky, lemon curd. Oh, there we go. Right, we're just going to do one. So you see it's quite a large one. We're just going to put one large swoop of that in. And as I say, with this sometimes at the end I do give it a whisk up just to help, because the lemon curd is obviously quite a big block that's gone in there. So if we now get the lemon zest, I keep half of the lemon zest for the icing, frosting, drizzle wise. But let's put that in. We will keep the fresh lemon juice for the buttercream icing as well. So I'll put a little bit more lemon juice in before it goes in the tin. And as I say, one more teaspoon of baking powder. So how's everyone been in quarantine? I think from the last statement that's been issued here, people are going to be able to start going out a little bit more for exercise. Some of the shops are going to be opening back up again, obviously on reduced staffing and reduced amount of people allowed in. Basically, I went to my local town today just to pick up a few things from Superdrug. I'd run low on toiletries and hair stuff, so managed to get in there. Had to queue probably for about 15 minutes again, and they was only letting about 10 in, I think, and then waiting until at least 2 or 3 was coming out before letting you in. So hopefully we can get back to normal. Trying to find the lemon curd, it is in there. Hopefully we can try and get back to some normality soon. And also get all the bits off the side. So with your spatula, if you've got any excess flour, sugar, anything like that, just scoop it all down into it. I don't actually think, yeah, it's still there. So say another little dash of lemon juice. I like it to be tart. It's going to have a sweetness, but I do like a bit of tartness to it. Right, so that has all been whisked together. I'm actually not going to whisk it like I said I was, because I actually managed to break down the lemon curd quite a bit. So I don't mind it when there's little bits of lemon curd, because it gives it a little bit of something extra. So all you need to do, a tin that has the liner in it, and now we just simply scoop the mixture in. No matter how neat I try to be, I always end up spilling it outside of the grease tin. And then a lot of people say bang it to make sure it's level. I don't, because then you're just defeating the object of all the air that you've put in. So just give it a little shake, and then as you can maybe see, let's do a quick, it's all going to fall out, isn't it? There you go. Right, pop that on the tray, and that goes in for 35 to 40 minutes, 180 degrees. To test once it's cooked, you can put a skewer, put a knife in. As long as it comes out clean, then we know it's cooked. And we will be back once this is ready. Right, so while that's cooking, we're going to get on with the frosting. So it's about 35 to 40 minutes. My approach is probably not going to be most people's. I like mine slightly, not burnt, but really, really dark, almost veering burnt, because I find it just helps a lot better. Once it cools and you put the buttercream frosting on, number one, because it's a lot harder, it will settle properly, and also I like that bit of crunch to my cake. So when it comes out, you're probably going to think that's burnt, and it's not going to be to everyone's taste. You can do it under if you want to, but I just like mine a little bit more crispy. So in this bowl, we've got 300 grams of icing sugar. This is sieved icing sugar. That's the main rule. People think when doing icing, oh, I just chuck it in, but then you get lumpy icing, and for buttercream, you don't really want lumps in it. So you've got 300 grams of sieved icing sugar and 175 grams of sugar. And then into that, I've got the fresh lemons. I'm going to squeeze 2 of them into it. Make sure you get no pips in there, because we use the bottled lemon juice for the cake, and then we're using the proper lemon juice for the icing. There we go, let's catch that little fella. And then we're also just going to put in the remainder of the zest. So I've probably got a couple of teaspoons of zest there left, and we're just going to pop that in there. Let's get the tea towel. So as I say, it's probably been in there for about, what's the time now? 25 minutes. So Right, you know how I said I have the loaf tin and it still always overflows? It's overflown again. It's starting to get slightly darker on the top, which is great, but I can see just by looking at it that the inside is still a bit gooey. So we don't want wet cake mixture in the middle, so we're going to leave it for a few more moments. So while that's doing, we can start getting on with the buttercream. So as I say, there's no need to worry about bit by bit with this. Literally just plop it all in. As I say, make sure you sieve your sugar, and then let's get some lemon buttercream. Be careful with icing sugar, it will go everywhere. Right, that will go everywhere. So let's have a little quick taste test. See if it needs a little bit more lemon. That very minimal movement. You don't want it so stiff that you're not going to be able to pipe it. So I leave mine there because by the time the cake has cooked and cooled, that we'll put in the fridge to chill, let the cake chill, and then there'll be no melting, no horrible icing sugar disasters on it. So yes, we shall put this in the fridge, pop that in the fridge, and then we shall check on the cake once it's cooked. It's over spilled again, but it's still soft, it's still hot. And let's just pop the skewer in. There we go, lovely and clear. So I know I'm going to get hate about the way that the cake looks. People are going to comment, it's bad, da 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 da. I like mine very, very well done. So I would rather have a slightly more golden brown cake than having a light colour cake and possibly not having it done in the middle. This cake will still be airy, it doesn't matter about the top. If you wanted it like that and then you wanted to slice off the top layer before you put your icing on, that's not a problem, you can do that too. But the skewer's come out clean, it's done. It's still soft, just slightly crispy on the top, which I like as a crust preferably. So we're going to leave that to cool for probably about half an hour. Don't put it in the fridge when you leave it to cool, because sometimes the coldness straight away, it can make the sponge go quite solid and firm. So just leave it at room temperature for about 20 minutes, half an hour. Leave the buttercream in the fridge, and then once that's all ready and the cake is cold enough to touch that nothing's going to melt when it goes on top, we can get back and start piping the butter. Right, so it's been about 20 minutes. So what I do now is just take it out of the tin and the liner and just let it go for probably that last 10 minutes just to cool outside of the wrapper. I tell you what, these Loaf tin liners are a godsend. I cannot, as I say, get greaseproof paper. Ooh, cannot get greaseproof paper for love nor money anywhere. So these little liners are an absolute godsend. Right, oh, this looks so nice because there's little chunks of lemon curd in it. So when you lift it off, have a look. Right, so we're going to leave it out for another probably 10 minutes, and then can get the buttercream out, get it in the piping bag, and we can start piping this cake. So let's get the buttercream out the fridge. Right, so I haven't piped for probably, when was the last time I've piped? Probably in college, to be fair, so I wouldn't expect much. Right, I'm going to do a little bit more lemon juice, because you find when it goes in the fridge, the acidity, let's just catch that bit, the acidity sometimes can wear off a little bit. So we want this icing, well, buttercream, to have a nice kick. So you know, I'm eating a lemon cake and I've got lemon icing. Dry our hand. So please leave me any comments down below of any other cakes you'd like me to bake, or any ideas that you've created in lockdown, and then we can definitely have a little bake with me and a cook with me series. And then what I'm going to do, so this is always the good thing, because the cake's cooling, so you can leave it, that's not got a problem. But where I've added the lemon juice, I probably added a little bit too much lemon juice, to be fair. So we're going to add a little bit more butter in and whisk it up, just so that it thickens up a little bit more, because you want it to be quite nice peaks when it comes out of the bag. So let's have a look. Oh, Mother hasn't done the washing up yet of the things. So let me quickly wash up the whiskey tool things and then I'll be back. And there we go, we are back. So we're going to add a little bit more of the butter in, and then I'll give it a taste, and if I want a bit more sugar, we can put a bit more sugar in. This is the wonder of baking, because yes, you have to have your measurements like for the cake mixtures, etc. But when it comes to buttercreams and icings, it's personal preference. Some people like really runny buttercream frosting, some people like really thick. I like mine really thick, so I'm going to put a little bit more butter, probably only about, how much is this? 30 to 40 grams, not a lot. We're going to whisk that up. Right. So we're going to have a little taste test, because now we've added a bit more butter in with the lemon juice. We might need a little bit of sugar just to balance it out. I'm going to carry on whisking it a little bit more, but definitely taste the lemon. Right, so I just added a little bit more butter and a little bit more sugar. Just, oh God, just because it could do, just with that little bit of sweetness, never go wrong. So while I'm making a mess of the kitchen, we're gonna pop this in the piping bag, and then we can put it back in the fridge and then pipe the cake. Right, I haven't, as I say, piped in years and years, and I haven't seen a piping bag for God knows how long, so this is going to all be trial and error, because I always used to do it in college as well. If we had the disposable ones, I'd always cut the slit up too high, but oh, I don't think that's too bad, guys. It's not, no, it's not spurting through. So right, what we need to do now is, if we get, actually no, we'll get a bit of a wooden spoon, and then we're going to pipe it in, make sure the nozzle stays at the bottom, so actually just pop it there, and then just spoon it in. God, this is where you need to be like an octopus and have a zillion hands. Right, let's just lay it flat. Hate what I've just done by getting it on the side of the piping bag. Oh. Starting to think as well, I may have slightly over whipped this, but oh God, and it's coming out the bottom. Hey ho, it's all a learning curve. As I say, this is what happens when you don't bake for ages, and then you think at once, you know what, I'm going to bake and I'm going to frost and I'm going to do everything. Oh, I hate you when it's on the side. Right, we are going to actually always reusable. Let's pop the icing in the tray, pop it back in the fridge, and then once everything's cooled, we can finally pipe it. I think just looking at this, I may have over whipped by a bit, but Hey ho. So, cake is cooled, it's ready to pipe. I have definitely overwhisked this bloody cream, but hey ho, I think I put a little bit too much lemon juice because I've just done an odd few piping and the lemon juice has started to come out. So you know what? We're not perfect here. It's still going to taste fabulous. So let's get on with piping the rest. So make sure you squeeze it at the top and then we're all here to learn. No one's a professional. And you know what? If anything, you'll actually get more of the drizzle effect because the lemon juice will be drizzling down the side. Let's wipe our hands. You know what? I have to laugh. It's not terrible, it's still edible guys, and it still looks yummy and it still smells yummy. So let's bring you down and show you what it looks like. There we go. So as you see, definitely over whipped the cream, but it's drizzling down the side, all that lemony goodness. So that is the end of the video guys. Kind of a flop, but hey, I don't care. It's still going to taste great, and the lemon juice is drizzling down the side of the cake. So technically it is a lemon drizzle cake. I need to go wash my hands now because my hands are super sticky from this lemon juice. And let me know if there's any other recipes you want me to do, any other cakes, preferably without icing, or I'm just gonna have to learn not to over whip it. I get so carried away when I whip because I think, oh, it's getting there, it's getting there, a little bit more, and then you're like, oh, right, I've slightly over whipped it. So that's, hey ho, that's how we go. So if you did enjoy the video, oh my god, my hands are so sticky. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Please don't be mean about my icing. I know it's flopped, but I know I'm gonna get some hate comments, but hey ho, we're all human. I'm still going to be tucking into this after I finish this video, so it will be doing good in my belly. Leave a comment down below and hit that subscribe button guys, and if not, stay safe, keep well, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!